And we're live. Hey everybody, welcome in to the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star the Flippin' Hippo. Today is Tuesday, January 28th. And that means we have 3 days left in the first month of the year. It's already flying by, guys. Time flies when you're having fun. I hated when people said that to me when I was younger. I don't know why I wanted to say that just now. Hello to everyone in the chat. Pamela's Procurements. Pete is here. Rhonda and Amelia are here. Richard Davis. Layden Miller. Hello, 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 and welcome in. We're just going to kind of riff for a minute while we wait for some folks to come in before I jump into the meat of the topic. The plural topics at hand tonight. Hello, Dawn. Hello, Jacob. Tasha, welcome in. Kara. Thanks for showing up, guys. I appreciate it. Chad's here. Yo. He says yo. So, I see that I can't talk tonight. Hoping for some good news. Not so much. I have some interesting news and some things y'all might not have heard about yet. Some rehashing of some old news, but nothing to write home about. Hey, Tammy's here. Gnome and the Frog, which is Bill and David. Guys, if you see the blue wrench with Gnome and the Frog, that is Bill and David. They are a reselling team. Kind of like Keith and I, except they're married and we're not. Small Town Pickers, Sherry's here. Big Bad John. Hey, that's a cool shirt. Thank you. I get all of my graphic tees almost exclusively for 99 cents at the Goodwill. I do. I go through the men's shirts because they have better shirts typically than women, and I get them on the 99-cent day. That's why I have so many, because it's okay to have 100 shirts if you only pay 99 cents each, right? Hey, Colleen's here. Welcome in. Thanks again for your help last night, Colleen. What Colleen helped me with is going to be something we're going to talk about in this show tonight. Bill and Dave are driving home from thrifting. Yeah, I saw they sent me a picture, 3 carts full, and I had some serious FOMO. If you don't know what FOMO is, it's fear of missing out. We haven't sourced since September, seriously. We went in Florida when we were visiting, but I'm definitely feeling the FOMO and the ramifications of not thrifting. Not as far as listing or selling or our business or anything, but I miss thrifting. But we made a deal and we're going to stick to it. Northwest Purple Sparkles. I sang your name. Now you can hate me because I sang. Hey, Susie, welcome in. So I have on extra makeup tonight. I hope you guys can't see my peeling and flaking. I want to say I'm 100% better, but I still feel like I have a whole bunch of sinus crap going on in here. I don't know if I still have a head cold or allergies or what, but I have like a little, you guys know when you get sick and you get like a scab and then you get like the bozo red clown lips and then everything starts to peel and you just look like the swamp thing? That's me. So I'm like lathering on moisturizer and makeup, and I'm like, hopefully they won't be able to see my swamp thing skin. Hey Jamie, welcome in. Fire Gal's here, Ladies Closet. But this is not a beauty channel, this is a reselling channel. So even if I do look like a hideous monster, I shall be here to give you reselling news. Alright, let's jump in. Got 64 people watching right now. So I have tonight's stuff broken up because you guys know I'm OCD and I'm very organized and I like my lists. Never have a show with that one. That's a lie. I did one, I think, that I didn't have one. Anyway, I have it broken up into reminders, news and updates, and the announcements, which I want to come at the end. And some of the news and the announcements kind of lead in. Some of the news and updates kind of lead into the announcements. So, I guess we're just going to start with reminders. Something in the chat caught my eye. And I don't know what it was. Oh well. I don't think it was important. If it was important and I missed it, I'm sorry. Put it in again. All right, let's just start with some simple reminders. You guys know that yesterday the 2020 postal rate increases kicked in officially. If you don't know what those increases were, I do have a video on this channel that covered the increases. And you can search my channel at the end of this. Don't do it right now. At the end of this or when you have free time, just search the channel for 2020 postal rate increase. The video is not that long, but in it and in the description box, I have a lot of really valuable links for you guys that go to the post office and have the chart that tells you exactly how much everything went up. I believe I screen shared in that video too and kind of talked about it with you guys. The postal increase is no surprise. It happens every single year, so we're not being punished. It's not the government being greedy. Well, it is the government being greedy, probably. But we're not being published. It happens Published? We're not being published. We're not being punished. It happens every single year. It's nothing new. They are kind of talking about taking away our free shipping supplies, the priority boxes and padded flats. And if they do, it's probably because people continue to abuse them and use them for things that they're not supposed to. But that is a topic for another day. Let's just hope everything remains free. And keep in mind that the increase did happen as of yesterday. So if you are someone who offers free shipping, hopefully if you offer free shipping, you know that free shipping is never really free. It's built into the price. If you're literally doing free shipping, you need to raise your prices anyway. And by that, I mean if I had a pen that was worth $20 and 5 shipping, you could sell it for 20 plus 5 shipping or 25 free ship. Same price. Free shipping is never really free, but because the increase did happen, for those of you that do free shipping, you may want to raise your prices by a quarter or 50 cents just to compensate that for you. And if you do calculated shipping, and I should say if you do flat shipping, you should probably raise your flat shipping price a couple of cents, a quarter maybe, to cover your costs. And if you do calculated shipping, keep in mind that the buyers are going to see an increase in the rates and may complain to you. And if they do, I have a cookie cutter response that you guys can respond to them with. Most of you probably know or don't know. I'm really super good at customer service. I have a background in copywriting and creating content for websites. So I'm really good with words. I've actually been published nonfiction and fiction. So I'm really good at writing and wording things in a way that are very professional. So if someone does complain to you and says that they're upset with the cost of shipping, you can just write back and say, unfortunately, shipping is non-negotiable. The shipping is calculated by the United States Postal Service based on weight and distance and is not something that we have any control over. Period. End of story. That's all you need to tell them. And, I mean, you don't have any control over it. And you could say the same thing for taxes. I've had a bunch of people lately ask me, how do I respond if buyers are angry that they have to pay taxes, or if they want me to lower my price to compensate for the fact that they have to pay taxes. You just tell them, taxes are regulated by the government and your state, and we have no control over that, and it does not compromise the value of the item. So there you go. All right, so that's that. Just a small kind of reminder about getting a hold of me. I know I've said this before, but if you want to get a hold of me, please don't message me on Facebook unless we are friends on Facebook. I kind of have been trying to go through my Facebook messages, and sometimes I'll think they're cleared out, and then I go back and the next day or day later, and I see a couple from 4 weeks ago or more than a month ago that weren't there yesterday. Facebook definitely has something glitchy with it, whether you're on the phone or the desktop. If you aren't friends, the messages go to a separate place. You don't get notified of them. And I think it's kind of iffy on whether they show up or not, especially on the phone. It's really bad. And I just don't get them. So if we aren't friends on Facebook, don't message me. I'm adding that in because I see my admins are in here. And if you send me a friend request on Facebook and I don't respond to it, please don't take it personally. I keep my friends really, really small, like basically down to actual friends in real life. And I keep all my acquaintances and business relationships and friendships in reselling groups. So don't message me on Facebook. I don't see them. I literally saw some this morning that were like 6 weeks old that weren't there Sunday when I checked. So I don't know what's up with Facebook. So my preferred way of you guys reaching me is my Facebook group. I have no problem going in there several times a day and interacting with people and answering questions. I check in there once an hour, once every 2 hours if I'm super busy. If you tag me, I get a notification on my phone. I can check in and see what's going on. The Facebook group is free to join. There's no reason you shouldn't be in there. It's a really good reselling group full of really great people. And like I said, I check in there all the time. And if you tag me, I get a notification. And then my other preferred way is email, flippinhipposhelp@gmail.com. I check that once a day, sometimes twice. And I answer emails first in, first out. So I answer them in the order they came into the inbox. So if you're waiting on a response from an email, don't send a second email, because all that'll do is shoot you back up to the top. Like if you had sent one yesterday and didn't get a response and sent another one today, it's going to put you back up to the top, and I'm going to think your email came in today, and I'm going to go back to the bottom and work my way up. So just kind of be patient with me as I work through them. And then if you must message me, if you don't want to tag me in the group, if you don't want to email me and you feel like you must do a message, please don't do it on Facebook. At the very least, at least do it on Instagram, because they will notify you when you get messages on Instagram, whether you're connected or not. And I actually get a notification on my phone from Instagram. Very reliable. So you can use that too. And the last reminder is tax time. Taxes are going to be happening, have already started happening, have already begun happening. Some people are already done. Not us. You guys know me and my taxes. Anyway, this is the reminder for you guys to get your books in order, get your papers together, get yourselves a CPA if this is your first or second year in reselling. If you're brand new to taxes, if you don't know what you're doing, get some help. It does not hurt to get help and ask questions and watch what they're doing, and then eventually you can do it on your own. And then on the other side of that coin, people will be getting their tax returns back soon, and hopefully that means increased spending and shopping online. Makepeace Butcherell, hey, they say, hey, welcome in. Caffeinated Christie's here, welcome. Hello to Nicole. Oh, hello from Australia. Back from burnout. Hello from Australia. Stock up on USPS. Yeah, so Pete's got a good point. Stock up on some supplies now, just in case they start charging us for them. I wouldn't say like go hog wild and buy 20. They're free. Don't go hog wild and order 50 of everything. But if there's something you use a lot, like I do a lot of jeans, I'm stockpiling my padded flats. CPAs are definitely great for people who taxes really at the end of the day aren't hard, but they can be confusing, which makes them hard. And there's a lot of things that you need to know that you can that you have to report or that you can write off, just different things that lay people don't know. That's why I recommend getting one. I do not actually give out tax advice, so don't ask me any tax advice questions, just because I'm not an accountant or a licensed CPA, and I am not comfortable giving out any information like that. However, a CPA can give you information like that, answer all your questions, and show you what to do. And I always forget to mention this when I recommend you guys getting someone else to do your taxes. The really good part about it is you're guaranteed under them. So if they screw up, if they make a mistake, they're liable for it. And if you get audited, they take care of it. So you don't have to worry about any of that. Hey, Dawn. Thanks, Colleen. She says I'm brutally honest. I don't know if I'm brutally honest. I'm just honest. Brutally honest to my friends. That's true. Really, Nicole Retail's here. So and Thrift is ready for their tax return. Not me. I still have a whole entire bag of receipts dating back about 6 months that have to be put into GoDaddy. I don't like number. I'm not a number person, and I don't like doing the books, and it's just my thing. I think everybody has one thing that they procrastinate they don't like to do. Because I've said it before on this channel, and I'll say it again. If you handed me a little board with a magic red button on it, and said if I push that red button, my taxes would be done, I would be like, okay, hey, I'll just get to it. And April 14th, I'd be like, let me push the button now. Because that's just what I do. So, all right, let's get into the news and the updates. So, something interesting I heard that came across the eBay for Business podcast. eBay for Business podcast. Now, I did not personally listen to this podcast. I met the folks who do the podcast at eBay Open. I actually have a shirt from them. And Colleen, speaking of, Colleen Gallagher in the comments, was a guest speaker on their podcast this last eBay Open in July. We met the people. We got some free t-shirts, some free coffee mugs. They're pretty cool people. I just don't listen to their podcast. I have, it's really hard for me to make time for stuff like that when there's so many true crime podcasts out there. Anyway, I did hear from a friend that listens to the podcast. If you are not an eBay managed payments yet, and you do global shipping program, so you have to be doing GSP, you're not going to get moved over to the eBay managed payment systems for a while. They do not have the global shipping program, and moving forward, we're going to call it GSP for the ease of me. The GSP is not integrated into their managed payment systems right now, and they don't know that it's going to be for quite some time, probably not till the end of 2020. And so if you're using global shipping, they're not going to force you into the managed payment systems, which would inevitably either make you give up international shipping or force you to do it on your own, which is something that was a worry for a lot of people. It was a big reason. One of the biggest reasons we were holding out and not moving over was because we knew we had to give up global shipping. But now you don't have to. If you like doing global shipping, keep it on, keep the GSP on, and they won't move you over until they have it integrated into their system, which isn't going to be for quite some time. And I don't like the managed payment system. I haven't liked it since I heard them talk about it in 2018 while I sat on the floor and listened to eBay Open. I just don't like it. There's just too much. I mean, they finally integrated PayPal, but here's the thing. I'm going to be the last one on the ship, and I'm going to go down kicking and screaming. So that's how we feel about it. But keep your global shipping program on, and you won't be moved over until it's integrated. And we're looking at like the end of the year. So, Jennifer's here. Nurse Flipper's here. Welcome in. Welcome in. Thanks, Daisy. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's going to be good. I don't know is Robert here? Robert's one of my mods. Guy is zombie. I don't think he's here. I don't think I saw him in the chat. Robert was worried about that too because he makes a lot of those international sales through GSP with his plushies. Hey, Shelly's here. Welcome in, Shelly. Yeah, Yep, stay global if you don't want managed payment systems. Daisy, you are one out of hundreds of people I've spoken to that actually said they like it. When did Casey sneak in? Casey, when did you sneak in? He just like pops in, doesn't even say hi. Hi, I'm still on PayPal. PayPal 2021. That's funny too. Yeah, Casey also does global shipping, so that's probably... so everybody say hi to Casey. The Rockstar Flipper, he's in the house. I actually honestly thought you were playing WoW with Keith right now. Alright. Alright, so this is kind of falls under news and updates, but I know this is a question that is on everyone's mind. And how do I know it is on everyone's mind? Because I had lots of messages and emails about it. I have been on 10 minutes and had you on mute. Are you playing WoW with Keith? So yeah, okay. Hi Heather. I don't think I saw you come in either. Hi Heather. So this is the question that's on everyone's mind. And when I actually was going over this outline with Keith, he kind of laughed at me and said, "Not on my mind." And I'm like, well, the folks that I talk to that watch the show, this is on their mind. And I'm just going to word it the way I've seen it most constantly worded. Is eBay dying? Everyone wants to know if eBay's dying. And I don't think it is. Where did I hear about the priority shipping supplies? Where didn't I hear about it? It was all over the place. I can't remember the exact link into the United States Postal Service that talks about it, but there was a blog written about it and an article about it. I think I may have linked all of those in my video when I did the 2020 update. I can't remember offhand where the links were. They were a Postal Service blog, and I think the Postmaster General makes statements or something. So that's where they're thinking about it. And it's probably because everybody thinks it's okay. See, here I go. I told you guys that was a topic for another day. We're not going to talk about misuse of priority supplies tonight. And Casey answered the question for me. Exactly. eBay is not dying. It is changing, or hashtag changing. So it's not it's not dying. It's going through some changes. I still stand firm on my thought process that whatever they did in October behind the scenes in the coding, when they did the item specific changes on October 15th, I really feel like they did screw something up. They glitched something out. They messed up the coding. This is not an excuse for them, but just hear me out. When you have coding that dates back to the 90s, a lot of times they just kind of go in and add more coding. And anybody that has any familiarity with coding at all will understand what I'm saying. And if you don't, this is going to sound like a foreign language to you. But they have like coding. It's like symbols and words and whatever. They don't typically like remove the old coding or the old programs. They just put in new stuff. They put in new coding that's supposed to negate the old coding and put the new coding in and make this the viable option. Now, really big companies, really big games, they will take out the old coding, put in new coding. They'll do testing, they'll do beta testing. Like even on World of Warcraft, they will have entire servers dedicated to folks trying new stuff out, to folks on the beta test who will report the bugs. And if you use LessPerfectly, you know they do beta testing where we can all use their new coding and their new updates to LessPerfectly within the beta, and then we report the bugs to the girls, Amanda and Clara, who run LessPerfectly, and they fix the bugs for us. That's how most companies run it. I don't think eBay does so much. I think they just have an antiquated coding system from the 90s that they just keep patching over and adding more. And if you've ever seen a line of code, it's very, very easy to miss one period or one parenthetical closing or parenthetical opening, and the little, I don't even know what they're called. These things. The less than and the greater than signs, you guys know. But yeah, it's very, very easy to mistype or have a typo of one little symbol or one little word or one little letter inside of coding, even in a perfect world. And if you're just throwing all this new coding in year after year after year for 30 years and patching it, you're going to end up screwing something up. I don't care if you're who you are, if you're the best coder in the world. And so, like they said, this is not an excuse for eBay. But what they really need to do two things. They need to just, I would say, take a day off in a slow time, shut the whole darn thing down, delete all the old code, put in new code. But they won't do that. But they should also be testing things out before they give them out to the general public. That's just common sense in most video gaming and stuff like that. But they don't. So whatever happened on October 15th, when they did the back-end stuff for the item specifics, caused a bunch of glitches. It caused a lot of things to go awry that they have since, quote-unquote, fixed. And I don't believe it for a minute that it's fixed. Whatever, maybe I'm wearing a tinfoil hat, but I don't believe it's been fixed. I believe there are still glitches and bugs and things that need to be worked out. Because I know people, I personally know people that you guys know too, I'm not going to call names, who've been selling for 20 years and have never, even 20 years ago when people had less money and people made more money and the economy was bad, have never seen a Q4 like the one we just went through. And there is typically a slowdown between Christmas and tax returns, but it's never been like this either. This Q4, I'm sorry guys, I feel like a piece of my dry, chapped lizard allergy skin is in my side of my lip. This is why I don't like live shows. I could have edited this whole thing out. Anyway. I feel like a lizard. I feel like I'm peeling. Sorry. It's never been this bad before. And I've heard that from people who've done it for 20 years. And then I hear from people like us who now have less clothes than ever before, but are making less. We have less clothes and more listings overall, and we're making less sales. It just doesn't compute to me. So I really believe that I don't think it's fixed. I'm going to read the comments real quick. The rumor of eBay's demise is going around big time. Negative chatter. Shelly says, yeah, negativity is absolutely not helpful. It is, I will admit, and I will tell you guys this, I will admit to you guys, full transparency, it's getting harder and harder for me to smile at the camera and be positive. There's days where I just want to scream and yell and put my picture on Instagram and say 3 effing freaking sales today. Are you kidding me? Negativity does not help, but I don't blame any of you if you have a day where you feel discouraged or you feel like you just can't keep your head up or you don't feel like smiling today or today's the day you want to swear and cuss and whatever. Because you can remain positive for so long in the face of adversity, and then it just gets to a point where you feel like you're just treading water in the same place over and over again. But I don't want this to ever become a channel of negativity or my social media. I do try to be positive. I try to give you guys motivation and inspiration every single day and tell you guys how to fix things and how to do things better. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. eBay's not dying. Just things have changed. Things are changing, and we just have to learn how to adapt to roll with it and go with the times. Yeah, Virginia, but this time I think people have more of a leg to stand on, to be honest with you, if you look at the history of what's been going on recently. Yeah, Christian has hit it right on the head. Frankencoding is sometimes very hard for even the developer or the coder to decipher what the heck did I do last night. Restart button. Thank you so much for the super chat, Layden, $5. I don't know if she came across already, but you'll see your dancing hippo in her hula skirt as a thank you to helping us feed a hungry hippo. I just read Ann's comment about the podcast saying they apologize for the problems. Here's the thing. You can only apologize so many times and then continue to screw up and apologize before I just don't even care anymore. That's in business and in personal life. And that's something that my parents raised me to believe. Like, you know, people, if they keep screwing up after they apologize, they aren't really sorry. So, okay, so eBay is not dying. Keith and I are not going to jump ship. We want to give eBay a fair chance. We want to see if Q4 was just a fluke. Maybe it was. Had something to do with the coding and the glitching and, what do they call it? Glitchapalooza? I need a sip of water. This is not water. I need a sip of water. Hold on. We're just going to wait it out and see if taxes turn it around. But we're also going to change how we source and the types of things we sell. And I'm going to get into that in just a second. There are a lot of people jumping ship right now. Leaving eBay completely. I know people that had 4,000 listings on there that dropped down to like 50 and they're on other platforms and they're focusing on other areas of their business. Here's why. I have two reasons why I don't agree with that. The first and the biggest is the thing I preach to you guys the most. You should never have all your eggs in one basket. You should always be as diversified as possible. So even if eBay is having a slow period or eBay is doing bad right now, if you take all your items off of eBay, they have even less of a chance of selling. If they're over there and they're sitting there, they might sell. If you take everything off, you have just absolutely 1,000% eliminated an entire stream of income for yourself. And there's no chance it's going to sell. So I would leave your items there. Maybe just not focus so much on it. Like if this is your full-time job, let's say you list 20 to 40 items a day on eBay. And you want to focus elsewhere. Then do like 10 or 15 items a day on eBay. And then spend your time on other streams. But I wouldn't jump ship just because it's better to have a chance for something to sell than to take that chance away completely. And wants to know if I think they are putting managed payment items to the top of the search. No, I do not. Because I know a lot of people in managed payments who are having the same issues as everyone else. I've also heard, oh, well, PayPal had a glitch and people couldn't use PayPal to pay. But people with managed payments are also having problems. So, no. And I don't think in any situation, in any instance, eBay would give preferential treatment to anyone. Obviously, if you're a bad seller and you have 5,000 negatives and you're below the metrics that you're allowed to have, then they might push you to the bottom. But they're not going to just like singularly pick and choose and put people up and put people down, because then they're losing money too. I absolutely do not think that at all, because that would just be just no. There's just too many things that go into Cassini, into the algorithm, that I can't believe that. Cheryl says, I like that kind of water. It's pretty good water. Hey, Corey, welcome in. Glad you made it. They also make a lot of money on promoted. There we go. That's the word I want. They also make a lot of money on promoted listings. They make a lot more money on people with more expensive items. What if I'm not on managed payments and I'm selling $1,000 items, and you're on managed payments and you sell $12 to $15 items? You really think they're going to give you preferential treatment? I don't think so. They want to make money too. Yes, and it is also good to be on eBay because they have a global audience. They have a huge global audience. People are familiar with eBay. eBay is used in so many TV shows and movies and books in popular culture, just as like, I bought it on eBay. You hear it all the time on so many different TV shows and movies. People just drop it casually. I bought it on eBay. You don't hear them saying it about Poshmark or ThredUp in mainstream movies. So more people do know about it. So I'm going to talk about LessPerfectly in just a second. So, okay. So my first reason for not jumping ship is I never want to 100% take away any chance of making money that I have. So if eBay's slow, stuff can sit there. That's fine. Our remotes are selling. The clothes will eventually sell, or I'll cross-post them to Poshmark and they'll move. The second reason, and I really don't know how to say this, I don't want to sound opportunistic or snooty. So because I don't know any nice way to say it, I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to put it out there because this is my actual thought process. And in the spirit of honesty and transparency, I kind of feel like, well, heck, if everyone else wants to jump ship and go elsewhere, I'll stay right here and then all my competition will be gone and then my sales will pick up. I don't know how to say that nicely, but it is what it is. If everybody jumps ship and everybody leaves and everybody runs away, I've got less competition at the end of the day. So I will just stay right where I'm at. I just sold a Homer Simpson for $31 today. That was 50 cents at the Goodwill. So let's talk about what else we can do. What we can do. And I do need a drink of actual water. This is actual water. And yes, I did wash and rinse out my McCafe iced coffee cup because this is the perfect size for water. Pamela, you can go back on my channel and search for managed payments. I have probably several videos on it. It was something that was dropped in 2018 at eBay Open, and it's eBay's payment system where you don't use PayPal anymore. So a lot of people tell me they don't trust eBay because it has a bad rep, but yeah, I mean, it's also got a good one too. It goes both ways. That's not rude to say. I'm looking out for myself. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the truth. Tina, do you do promoted listings in bulk, like the campaigns? That's how I do them, and I haven't had any issues just doing the whole store. 500 at a time. So so first of all, and this is something I preach to you guys all the time, you got to diversify. So if eBay's being different, if eBay's changed a little bit, feel it out. How's it changed? What's going on? Achilles, I answered that already. I said that I sold a Homer today for $31 that cost 50 cents. That's recently. That's today. I'd actually have to go back and look beyond that. So think about what's different. What has changed? We've noticed more plush and remotes are selling less clothes, which is why I have my conspiracy theory about the item specifics. But and certain types and brands are selling better on eBay, and certain types are doing better on Poshmark. So do yourself a favor, do the due diligence, and just kind of keep track of what you're selling where. And then you can diversify, and you can think differently when you're outsourcing. You can look for different types of items, or maybe different brands of the same type of item. And that's diversifying on eBay, getting different things in there for folks to look at. You don't want to be locked in anyway on any platform. If all you sell is men's clothes or women's shoes or just this or just that, you're only getting yourself customers from one market, one audience, and you want to have as many as you can. So diversify on eBay, and then also make sure that you're on several different platforms. This is not the time to be the grumpy old man in his lawn chair with his arms crossed. I don't want to sell on Poshmark and Grailed. I'm all right on eBay. This is not the time for that. If you would like to continue to stay in business and roll with the times, you are going to have to learn how to sell on other platforms, and you are going to have to learn how to get out of your comfort zone, and you're also going to have to learn how to source different items. The folks that are shopping on eBay in 2020 are different from the folks that shopped on eBay in 1990, period. We got millennials now who love vintage clothing and thrifted clothing that 30 years ago weren't shopping online. You've got less need for like the bric-a-brac that our grandmas all had. Our grandmas, if you're Gen X like me. But you also have to keep that in mind when you're diversifying too. Who's the audience now? Who's online? Who's shopping? What are they after? What do they like? What's the culture like? What's society like? And if you sell internationally, whether you do it yourself or global, the feel for what's popular overseas, I can tell you what we send out all the time on global shipping is Disney, Plush, Hershey's, Reese's Plush, anything that's like Americana, stereotypical American, I guess. Any of the theme parks, the plush like that, the collectibles from those kinds of things. And then the very popular American brands like the Miss Me jeans and the Robert Graham shirts and things like that. I'm going to kind of go back to the chat for just a second. Jamie has an idea there. List as many places as possible with the high dollar items especially. A lot of the new platforms popping up, like the Pop and Grailed, are very pop culture-y. They're what's in the brands that are popular now. I know even on Poshmark still people will pay more money than they will on eBay. Okay, I think I'm caught up. So, if you are going to start cross-posting, I saw someone in the chat asked if it's better to manually do it or use something like LessPerfectly, and I'm going to tell you straight out, even though there is a cost for it, using LessPerfectly is better. It pays for itself within the first month, especially now. So I've done two videos in the past with screen shares showing LessPerfectly and how it works. If you are going to go look at that after this is over or tomorrow, look at the newer one. Has more updated info in it because they're still rolling out betas. We're still practicing. They're still practicing on us. We're practicing on giving them the bugs. Amanda and Clara, the girls that started LessPerfectly, are amazeballs. They are wonderful human beings. I met them in person in Vegas. I actually sat down in a meeting with them, Casey, Jamie, Colleen, and Sydney, and talked about LessPerfectly and how it works, and that's how I have an affiliate link with them and stuff. But it's constantly updating. The girls are good. They have a Facebook group for LessPerfectly. Free to join the Facebook group. You can ask questions in there. The girls will answer. And there's a lot of other veterans in there that have been using LessPerfectly since eBay opened, or even before that really know the program inside and out and can help you and answer your questions. And hold your hand and walk you through it as you learn it. And there's many different versions that you can get. It is an extension on your computer. You have to have Google Chrome, which I understand you can get if you have an Apple. So the reason I say LessPerfectly is even better than ever before, because I found out something exciting I didn't know. They now have a bulk cross-posting feature in their latest beta. How does it work, Star? How do I get it? Well, I'm actually going to be putting out a video tomorrow, you guys, with a screen share showing me using it. I just found out about it last night and got the beta and tried it out. And I moved 5 items from eBay to Poshmark in a minute and a half. I timed it. Amazing. So worth the money. And so today I tried it again and I did 5 plush to Macari. Took me 2 minutes. And it probably will take everyone else less time than me because I'm OCD. So when I move stuff over, it's not good enough to just fill in the item specifics and go with it. I have to put in the SKU line, the location, and then I have to go on eBay. And we have a way of notating the listings on eBay to show that they're on Poshmark, so we know to pull them off if they sell. So I do a couple extra steps there for myself with the SKU line and the notation. But if you're just cross-posting, it's fast. So tomorrow I will be doing a LessPerfectly video specifically showing those of you who don't have it yet or have it now and don't have the beta, how to get the beta. I'll go over the pricings and the plans with you guys again. They have several different plans. And then I'll screen share and I'll show it to you. It is so amazing. You can move like 5 to 10 things a time really fast. So if you're on the fence or you almost subscribed to something else today, just hold tight. Tomorrow I'll have that video come out and you can watch it and you can make your decision then. I actually want you guys to see me do the screen share with the bulk cross posting because it is so cool, so amazing. Yeah, you can actually stop using VAs because you can do it all yourself in minutes. And their minimum plan is like $29 a month, which is what we have. You don't really need to get the fancier plans unless you plan to do a lot with it. We use it specifically just for cross-posting. Like I said, I'll go over it in the video more tomorrow. They have bigger plans because you can store your items and their locations on their app, and they're working on a way to take the items down for you on other platforms when it sells on this platform. I don't want any of that. I just want the ability to cross-post. I have my own inventory system, and I like to take things down myself, so I know they're done. But so like $29 a month. I don't know what you pay your VAs, but if you can move, 10 items in 2 minutes, how many items can you move a day? How many more sales will you have? How much more money will you make? So global shipping program, you can do anything you want because you are mailing it to Kentucky, and then from there it goes internationally. So whatever domestic shipping you want to do, you can do. You can do flat, calculated, free, and then you ship it to their place in Kentucky, and then it goes on from there. And it's no longer your problem. They are working. I'm kind of behind on the times on a lot of stuff right now. I do believe they may have found a way to do that yet. They may have not. You can go on their Facebook group and figure out if they have yet. There's a place to put them on LessPerfectly with the higher plans where you could put what other platforms you have them listed on. So you could, when you do the shipping for global shipping, you charge whatever you want to charge for them to pay for it to get from you to Kentucky. And then they will pay additional customs fees and international shipping fees on top of that to eBay outside of your scope or your visibility. yeah, so 30 a month, and you can do however many you want to do on your own real quick. So I'll put that out tomorrow and you guys can see it. So announcements, we're getting into the announcements. So what are Keith and I going to do moving forward? Well, we're going to definitely source differently when we start sourcing again in the spring. If you're new to the channel, Keith and I have not been sourcing since September, except for a brief foray in Florida when we went to visit Casey. We did go sourcing down there. We had so many death piles and I don't want to piles. And we also additionally just bought 3,000 remotes back in September on a wholesale pallet. And I'm going through the inventory and finding stuff that fell off by the handfuls that I'm putting back in. So we're not sourcing till the spring. Why the spring? Because we don't like snow, we don't like ice, we don't like cold weather. So any excuse we can use to stay inside until the spring, we will use because we don't like cold weather. Then why do you live in PA? Not for long. You can use pirate ship with Macari. So you can use Macari or you can tell them you want to get your label off-site and use pirate ship. And then it's a little bit cheaper sometimes. Alright, so we're going to change, when we go sourcing again, we're going to change the way we source. We're going to be going to a lot more church and estate sales, yard sales, neighborhood sales, things like that, to seek out hard goods and plush. Because out here, longtime viewers will remember like the last 2 summers I showed on YouTube where I would just come home from yard sales with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of plush that came out to like 10 cents or a quarter a piece that I can get in bulk. So we'll be doing a lot more of those and a lot less thrift storing, which means a lot less clothes. So we will still be doing clothes. We're just going to be looking at them with different eyes. Now, I don't know how it's going to work where we live because this is, I'm about to make a swear words. If you have small kids in the room, cover their ears. But we do live in what we affectionately call Pittsburgh. And sourcing here has never been that great. Like, the highest end brands we've ever found here are Robert Graham on 3 occasions and Miss Me in silver. If you ever see us with anything higher brand than that, it came from a thread-up box or from when we were on vacation out of town. But we are going to be a little bit more cherry picky and choosy, a little less bread and butter, and more just looking for the bolo items. Definitely lots more plush. And we'll be looking at a lot more wholesale and liquidation lots like these remotes that we did. Baltimore fans here love that term. It's shit. It really is. It is. I'm not from here, so if you are born and bred Pittsburghian, I apologize. I'm from Arizona. I do not like this place. Not in the rain and not on the train. Not with a mouse in the house. So we do still get 99-cent day at our Goodwills, though. So we still will be coming home with some bread and butter. Clearly, if you're going to get the stuff for 99 cents, you might as well get it. We have the capacity to do a volume-based business because I'm full-time and Keith will be full-time hopefully by the end of the summer. I know we said he'd be full-time by the end of last year, but we are trying to save up a pretty substantial amount of money before he quits his job. At first, we were just trying to save up like 6 months to a year of expenses like Dave Ramsey suggests. But now we're trying to save that up in addition to some moving costs. And it's not cheap to move out of state. And we got some plans going on here. So we're being very lofty about the amount of money we want in our savings before he quits his job. So, you gotta be kind of careful with some medical supplies, though. Sometimes eBay will hit you for them. Some of those gross me out, though. They weird me out. But anyway, we still will be doing the 99-cent days. But what's important when you're out there sourcing, you should know what you're looking for. You should know the average sale price is something you're looking at, and if it's worth paying the price they want for it. And if the sell-through rate, you should know a lot about. We have 2,100 listings on eBay, a couple hundred on Amazon, a couple hundred on Mercari, I think, and like 800 to 1,000 on Poshmark. I'm not sure how many of those are actually active. That's volume-based business to me. So, lost my train of thought. So you need to know what you're sourcing. So like we learned as we went, many of you know that have been around from the beginning, that are longtime viewers. We kind of started going to the Bens and then the 99-cent days, and we just bought all the things. We just bought everything and brought it home and discovered whether it was poop, bread and butter, or bolo on our own. And we weren't really out any money, because back then we would even just list the poop and sell it and then reinvest it into better stuff. And every time we went sourcing, we would be a little bit more knowledgeable from that week of listing. So bring home all this crap, find out this crap's not good, never get that crap again, go get this crap. And we basically self-taught ourselves. And then we sat down and we did tons and tons and tons of hours and hours and hours of research. And then we put out our first clothing guide in 2019. And then we just did the update for that week or two ago. So we updated it for 2020. And so we did all the research so we would know what brands you should be looking for used, which ones you should be looking for new with tags, which you should be looking for jeans, shirts, tops, whether you want this brand or that brand, how fast it sells, what's the average time it takes to sell, what's the average sell price on it, what do you want to pay for it, how much does this usually cost to ship, and all of these knowledgeable things that we have crammed inside of our head, we made into a spreadsheet for ourselves. And then eventually in 2019, we started dropping it on you guys for sale so that you could have all that information at your fingertips without spending the hours and hours and hours and hours of research and creating the chart and all of that on your own. Volume-based business is, yes, like, I can never remember their name. But they're that clothing seller on eBay that's like an actual business that has employees, and they sell crap for like $5 and they just do tons of it. Yes. But volume based for a person who owns their own business is not going to be on that level. So I would say like Robert's a volume based business. He has 4,000 listings. He ships out like 40 items a day or whatever. Megan Mawini, I think she's back up to 3,000 listings. I don't want to speak out of turn, but she has a lot. And she does it on her own with help of a photographer. And then Keith and I with over 2,000 shipping out. We should be shipping out 10 to 20 a day. We don't always do it because of all the stuff with eBay. But yes, BHFO. So that is one model of volume-based business. But when folks are running their own business, it's going to look a little bit differently because you're not going to have employees and all of that. So I think if you are doing this by yourself or as a couple or maybe with one or two people to help you out, like VAs or photographers, volume to me is over 2,000 because it's volume looks different based on the amount of employees. So yeah. So I have always pronounced that we're volume-based sellers as well as Megan Mawini and Robert. Just because we don't have 50,000 employees and don't do what they do, we do the same amount of work based on the amount of employees. Does that make sense, guys? So, yeah, BHFO is who I was thinking of. I can never remember that. I need to come up with an acronym in my head. Anyway, we're closing in on the hour mark, so I got to give you guys my announcements. So if you are interested in the 2020 clothing guide that we have updated for this year and put together for you guys, it has over 150 different types of items on it, broken down by brand, then again broken down by used and new. It has their average sale price, their average sell-through rate, and then your target buy price, what you want to pay for it. Potentially you want to pay less than that, but that would be the most. And then that sell-through. Oh my gosh, I did forget to. I feel like such a jerk. Jamie's a volume seller. Speaking of Jamie and his Amazon sales, Fred would be a volume seller, and it's just him and his partner Jeff, and they have like one employee. So yeah. Anyways, you totally broke my train of thought. He doesn't just do ties. He does a lot more than ties. Okay, so our guide has 150 items broken down, new, used, average sale price, average sell-through rate, how long it takes to sell, and your target price that you want to pay for it, and that includes the shipping. So when we break that column down, when we did the coding or the formulas in the back end of the spreadsheet, we figured in the shipping for you, the average shipping on that item. It was easy for jeans, you know, the cost of a padded flat. And then like the average is like $4.50 for first class items and so on and so forth. And then that sell-through rate column is color coded for you into red, yellow, and green. Red is the things that take the longest amount of time to sell, typically more than 9 months. These are things you probably shouldn't source. Green is faster than 3 months, and then the yellow is 3 to 6 months, which is where most clothes fall in. The guide is $19.99. However, we are going to be running a special in our group for the group members. Again, our Facebook group is free to join, and it's an amazing group. I know it's my group, but I still tout it as one of the best reselling groups online because it is one of the few left that don't have negativity. There's no bullies. You can ask any question without fear of being made fun of. People are super nice in there. And there's a lot of plush sellers in there, a lot of veteran sellers, a lot of people that can help you out. So if you're in the group this evening, probably, I haven't set up any of the codes yet or anything. So like an hour and a half after the show, maybe 2 hours. We're going to put some codes in the group for Facebook members. We're going to offer you 25% off the clothing guide. If you haven't pulled the trigger on the plush guide and you want to get the plush guide, we're going to offer a code for 25% off of that. We are also going to be offering a bundle. If you want both, you'll get 30% off. And then if you want both and you would like a store review in inclusion to the two guides, you'll get 40% off. And the reason I want to offer the store reviews at a huge discount to you guys is because having another pair of eyes, a second set of eyes, someone different than you looking at your store and telling you what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and what you can improve can severely help you out. I still have, Keith and I still have Casey look at our store for us because he's a second pair of eyes. He's a different opinion. He does things differently, and we want someone like that to look at our store for us. So Casey still looks at our store a couple times a year for us. We even get reviews. Because it's good to have just a whole different person and their eyeballs looking at your stuff. Because when you do it, you're looking at it all the time, and even typos you can overlook. So that's what we're offering in the group. It'll be a announcement. Make sure you guys look for those announcements all the time. At the top of the group, there's always a pinned post. To the right of that pinned post, it always says see all. If you click that, it's every single announcement that is super duper important for you guys. It'll be in there. So you'll have to use a coupon code if you're buying just one guide by itself at 25% off. But I'm going to create links to bundles if you want to purchase the bundles. On their own, they're $19.99, or they'll be $14.99 with your code. If you get both, it'll be $28. And if you get both with the store review, it'll only be $33 for both guides and the review. And I usually do the reviews within 24. I say on the review after you purchase it, it says, please give me 24 to 48 hours. But unless I get super duper backlogged, I'm usually really quick on them, like within 24 hours. Okay, those are my announcements. So if you're not in the Facebook group, join the Facebook group. Link is in the description box down below, or you can search for it. Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. It's a really great group. I can't express that enough, just because I absolutely love my group members for being such amazing, awesome people. Everyone in there is so nice. They really are. And I have to appreciate that, because I see what happens in other reseller groups where people fight and they're just mean, and I'm like, ooh, so thankful for my pod. So yeah, Casey still does. He did one when we visited him in Florida. It's always good to have someone else look at your store for you. So join the Facebook group. You guys hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. Don't forget, the point of this video was really just to keep everybody's spirits up. I know it's hard. I know we're all frustrated. I know we're all feeling discouraged. I know some of us are scared. Like, what are we going to do? So I wanted to get your spirits back up and let you know it'll be okay. Just keep trucking. Keep diversifying. Keep sourcing different types of items. Keep cross-posting and listing on other platforms. Keep going. Do yourself a favor and keep track of what's selling where and where the trends are, and keep that in mind when you're listing and when you're sourcing what you want to put where. But at the end of the day, I understand how frustrated people are. I understand how discouraged you are, because even I feel it. You guys see me on here all the time, smiling, hi. I don't feel like that all the time, and sometimes it's really hard for me, and I'm like, I'll look at Keith and say, how am I supposed to go on tonight? How am I supposed to make a video? How can I go on Instagram when I feel discouraged and I really just want to quit? I have those days too, so you're not alone, but it won't stay like this forever. It can get better. You just have to put the work in, and if the work doesn't need to go in on eBay right now, then the work needs to go in somewhere. So find out where you're doing well and thrive there. But I would say on eBay, absolutely. I would be as many places as you could. Get your fingers in all the pies, guys, because it really, it's the time to have multiple streams of income. It's the time to have multiple platforms. Lots of streams of income. Just get that money flowing in. I love the group. And this is after 1 week. So that's me smiling, telling you it'll be okay, guys. I'm still positive. It looks fake though, right? No. We're good. We're all good. Everybody's going to be good. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Really helps the channel. Thank you again for the super chats tonight. And Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Flippin' Hippos. Oh, if you want to email me, it's flippinhipposhelp at gmail.com. And thanks for joining me tonight, guys, and spending, the hour with me. It was fun. You guys are the best. Go be productive and go make some money. Bye.